Check. Okay, here we go. So propane burns in oxygen to produce carbon dioxide and water. We've seen that reaction before. So calculate the mass of CO2 that can be produced if the reaction of 45 grams of propane and sufficient oxygen. Sufficient means that there's plenty. It means that is not the limiting reactant. So this is going to be the limiting reactant. So I'm going to do this instead of like doing my arrows as a limiting reactant problem. I'm simply going to say if I've got 45 grams, get a little bit smaller marker here, 45 grams of propane, and I'm just going to call this A because I don't want to write CH3 out every time. 45 grams of A So what I'm going to do is calculate my theoretical yield, and I need moles, moles of A, and I've got to do the reciprocal formula weight or the molecular weight of propane, which is C3H8. I'm going to calculate propane up here, 3 times carbon plus 8 times hydrogen equals 3 times 12.011 plus 8 times 1.008 is equal to, I'm using my calculator right now, 3 times 12.011 plus 8 times 1.008 is equal to 44.097. Put that in red here. .097 per mole, right? That's 44.097 grams per mole. My marker's a bit big there. Okay, and let's come back. So now we've crossed off grams of A, and we have moles of A. Now we need to convert moles of A, and we're asking about CO2. So let's call this B, because I don't want to write out CO2. I can convert moles of A to moles of B, right? And we're asking about a mass that's produced, so I'm going to have to convert moles of B to grams of B in order to get my mass, right? So it looks like there is 3 to 1, 3 moles of B for every 1 mole of A. There's my 3. There's my 1, right? 3 moles of B for every 1 mole of A. So I'm going to cross off A. And in my grams per mole, CO2 is 3 times carbon. Oops, not 3, sorry. Carbon dioxide is only 1 carbon, plus 2 times oxygen. A lot of background noise back there. Maybe my friend here can go tell people that I'm still in class. 2 times 15.999. We've gotten pretty relaxed around the Coppock household here. 12.011 plus 2 times 15.999 equals 44.009. Wow, it's remarkable how close those are in, wow, 44 and 44. Wow, that's pretty funny. Okay. Did I calculate that right? 3 times 12 is, yeah, 36 plus 8 is 44. Yeah, these are almost the same. That's 44.099 or 097. This is 44.009. It's pretty funny. Okay, and that's going to give us the grams. So moles of B cross off. This is going to give me the theoretical yield. Marker's really showing some lag here. Pardon me, folks. Wow, man, what's going on here? Theoretical yield is going to be, this is my theoretical yield, okay? It's going to be about 45 times 3 because the 44 is cross off. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Times 45 times 3 divided by 40. 44.097 is equal to 134.73. 134.73. This is the theoretical yield. Now, the question is not theoretical yield. The question is if you actually got 60%. What you'd say is you'd multiply this times 60%. And so your answer is going to be that times 0.6 is 80.838 grams. And I'm going to go through and check my sig figs now. This had 3 sig figs. This had more, so I'm not worried about that. This was exact. Not worried about that. This had a bunch of sig figs. I'm not worried about that. So this is going to be calculated to 3 sig figs. I showed 5 here because I want to keep all my digits till the very end. That's got 3 sig figs because this says 60.0. That's 3 sig figs, right? So this is going to have to be reported to 3 sig figs. And so this number is going to be 80.8 grams if you have 60% yield. All right, I'm going to stop the recording now, post this on YouTube, and then ask students for if they want any additional help.